everyone. Thank you so much for watching another episode of the Emanuel Show. I appreciate it. Today's episode is about a young woman who I met just a year ago as we were practicing for a fashion show. Ever since then, we had an opportunity to, meet up and network every once in a while, but her transformation and how we both started into where she is now is absolutely amazing, and I am excited to introduce her. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Miss Joy Phillips. Thank you so much for joining and talking to me, Joy. I appreciate it.
No problem, sweetie.
Tell the world who you are. Who is Joy Phillips?
Joy Phillips is Joy, the plus size model. Mm-hmm. That is, so to say, like my alter ego. My showstopper, the one that likes to take the stage and take it over.
Mm-hmm. How did this persona develop?
Actually, I started being an entertainer when I was...
What form of entertainment when you say I started being an entertainer?
I was in a marching band.
Okay.
And that's what made me come out of my shell, because I had the chance to showcase myself, but also be a part of a family type group. So when I was called upon to, step up to the front and showcase myself, sometimes I was shy, sometimes I wasn't, and a lot of that plays into modeling.
So modeling is your newfound passion?
Yes.
What made you say, hey, I'm a model, through and through?
Actually, I went to beauty school in 2007. I went to PNA Scholars.
Mm-hmm.
And a friend of mine by the name of Delisa Johnson, she was a participant in the hair show, so she wanted me to be her model, and I was, again, very shy, but I did it, and I felt good about myself. I kind of lost, contact with the whole modeling thing, but it eventually came back around, and I'm here to stay.
I know that's right. So, since you've decided to join the modeling world, what were your inspirations for joining, for really being in it and staying in it?
Believing in myself, and also that plus size isn't always bad. Plus size is just mean push a little harder.
I like that. Push a little harder. So if that's the case, we are plus size. We just need to work on it, pushing a little harder.
And amen, that's right. Because it all starts within you. So if you don't believe in yourself, and you can't believe in yourself through all the trials and tribulations, you will fail. But through that falling, you just got to pick your head up and get back up and do it again.
So I wanna discuss when we met, because meeting you was very, very special to me on a personal end. And I want the world to know what happened at that meeting. So for all you guys who are watching, Joy and I met at a fashion show practice. I was over at a friend's house and helping her with her fashion show, and Joy was there trying to figure out how to walk. Now, I know how to walk very well on a runway, and Joy was having some issues with, walking in heels and making sure she's comfortable really rocking the runway. And Joy, everything sprouted from that particular meeting. So from your perspective, what happened? What was you feeling? Everything. Tell them the story of how you and I met and what came out of it.
So, I'm not sure if I casted for that show or not, but her name is Kenyatta Codwell. Her brand name is Creole Bakeka. This is one of my first designers, one of my favorites. I mean, I can always lean back and just look back at that, and it just makes me smile. I came to practice that day, and I had a friend of mine with me, and I did not ever walk in heels anywhere. And I had my heels with me. Of course, that was a requirement. As a model, you have to walk in heels. I'm like, okay. And I walked. But I didn't. Okay. It was like Bambi. I was all messed up. So, Emanuel, to me, he was the model coordinator. Mm-hmm. So, he says, let's go. We go get this. You want to do it? And I said, yeah. He said, are you sure? I said, Yes. He said, all right, don't give up on me. We're going in this basement and we gonna walk. We walked. I still was Bambi. And I had a previous ankle injury. When I say that ankle went to the side, baby, and I almost went down goes Frazier, and I almost hit the ground. Mr. Emanuel, Superman, saved me. And I think you was injured at the time. Or coming from an injury, or you wasn't, something was wrong.
Yeah, I was feeling off that day. Like I was hurting. I just got off of work. I was serving. I said my friend still needed me, so I was there. But I was not 100%.
Yeah, and I mean, I never would have known till that fall, because me and you was about to, both of us was about to be on that floor. But I thank God that I came through that, and from somebody catching my fall, that was like somebody catching my fall in life. And when I got up, and I'm like, okay, I didn't fall, so that means that I probably could do this. And we stayed down there for what, about 2 hours? Mm-hmm. And I came up, and I was able to walk.
I personally feel like when, runway walking is a part of life. Mm-hmm. If you're going to fall, you got to get back up. That's you're going to fall out there and just stay there. Mm-hmm. You're going to stay on the runway, just out there, just sprawled out. I think that a lot of people are missing that lesson, that something happens to them or they're going to stay there. Mm-hmm. They let those things be the things that hinder them from going forward. Mm-hmm. If you want to do something enough, you'll get back up.
That's right.
And keep going.
That's
and
right.
Thank you for that. And on a personal end, Joy, I didn't think she had a lot of confidence. I didn't think you had a lot of confidence at all. And after that, I saw you, I was like, whoa! The way you walk into a room can captivate an entire audience. Mm-hmm. It could steal the attention away from the person who's speaking.
That's right.
It can make you stand up and be noticed. Walking, not just for a runway audience, it will make you feel better about yourself. Like a haircut. You got the confidence and you walking with precision and you know where you want to go. That's drive. You're going the distance. So okay, so let's talk about some of the issues that could have, that probably did happen or that happened with you in the modeling world. Have you had any major issues with designers or things like that?
Yes, and I had to learn that from personal experience, from nights of, crying myself to sleep and designers turning me down, from me hearing that, oh, you're plus size, so it's gonna take a little bit more fabric. And, basically, I see it as not getting picked over a skinny girl because of more fabric. Sometimes you hear about shapewear, if you don't have the proper shapewear. I mean, it's just a lot that goes into modeling, and then you have to, like I say, push a little harder with plus size because you're already looked at as a stereotype of this and that, but just create your own box and just remain in that box and peep through every now and then and people will see what you're doing.
And in your pre-interview with me, you mentioned a family bond that you've seen in some of the modeling circles that you were in. Tell me about that.
I started off, my first audition was the fashion statement with Lady J. And I went on my own. I believe I found it on Facebook through a modeling group. And I went for the audition and I was there by myself. So I seen a group of young ladies that was joking and laughing, and they noticed I was off kind of to myself. And they came to me like, hey, how you doing? My name is such and such. And from that bond, that day, I could say it was at least like maybe 15 girls. We developed into a group called the Curve B Dolls, 313. And from that, we have all stemmed out and grew so much. From models, from first-time models to now show producers. Runway models for all over the world. Like it's really expanding, and in today's world, family bond is what we need.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you see that as a major disconnect in the professional world?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, a lot. I mean, it's easier said than done to support your fellow designer or model or whatever, but it needs to be some type of coming together in the world, because we can get way further if we work together. If you're working by yourself, it's always looked at as a competition, and it shouldn't be that way.
Now, what would you say to a designer who is interested in designing for plus size models but really don't know where to start? How would a designer start designing for a plus size model, since you are the model?
I can say from my past experience of me learning, of getting into the world, I studied around it. I studied the environments. I studied like different places people travel. I studied walks and fashion looks, photo shoots, those type of things you need to see around the person that you're shooting, and it'll give you a better idea to connect with that person.
Okay. Now, in terms of other young women, getting ready to run out of time, but I just got a couple more questions to ask you. What advice would you give to another young woman who is on the plus side of the size spectrum? What advice would you give her if she's nervous or considering modeling as an option? What advice would you give her?
I'm gonna say these words that my mother used to tell me, and I never realized, how deep these words touch your soul. But she told me, and she knew I struggled with weight all my life. And she used to look at me in my eyes, and she said, I want you to go in the bathroom every day when you get up and look in the mirror and say, I love myself. I love myself, and I'm going to do better for myself. So that's just basically it. Love yourself, do better, and whatever your goal is, don't stop. Never quit.
We all look back and have regrets and things like that within ourselves, and we look in our past. Instead of wishing or thinking about a regret that you may have had, can you look back and tell your younger self or give your younger self some advice about what's to come and how to make it to this point? If you had to talk to your younger self.
Focus. Focus. Always believe in yourself, brand yourself, and know that your brand is yourself. You have to carry yourself a certain way. You have to look a certain way. You have to maintain those same looks and personas in public, that you're always being watched. And your past can come to hunt you. So beware.
So that's what you would tell yourself.
All right.
Okay. Thank you so much, Joy. I appreciate it. This was an amazing conversation, and I think we definitely need more size and more variety, especially in the fashion world, because everybody is not a size 2.
Right.
But thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on and sharing your particular perspective about what your life and where this is going. Thank you. I want to thank you all for watching another episode of the Emanuel Show. Love you guys, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.
No problem.
I want to thank you all for watching another episode of the Emanuel Show. Here's a sneak peek of what's coming next week.
Your differences, your ideas, things that, if you stand alone for what you think about, it's not because you're bad or because you're ugly or because you're not valuable. It's because you're different, and that is okay. The world needs to hear.
See this episode and many more like it. I ask you guys to watch and log on to www.theemanuelshow.com. We also ask you guys to follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, tweet us, and become a subscriber to our YouTube channel. I thank you all again for watching. Follow us on all of our social media. Like and comment on everything. We want to know your output. We want to know your feedback. Thanks again.